Kyrie Phila, and welcome. Today we are in John chapter 3, taking a look at verses 17, and we're going to go all the way through the end of 18, which is a little bit more than half of this page, but stopping right there doesn't seem quite right. So here is our rubric, everything that we're going to be looking for as we go through this text. Let's go ahead and get started. Ugar apestelen ho theos ton huion eis ton cosmon, hina krine ton cosmon, al hina sothe ho cosmos di autou, ho pisteuon eis auton ou krinetai, ho de me pisteuon e de kekritai, hoti me pepisteu ken eis ton onoma tu monogenus huiou tu theu. That's as far as we're going to make it. We're going to find our verb first. Neither of those are verbs. So here we have apostelen. Since we have this epsilon iota here in the stem, we know this isn't going to be an imperfect. We've got the vowel right there telling us that it is a past tense verb, but it doesn't have the right stem for it to be the imperfect. I think we would want one more L in here, or sorry, lambda, if I'm remembering the form of the word correct, but this epsilon iota here tells us that this is actually the aorist stem with epsilon nu as a third person singular. Active, and it is indicative. It means sent, so we want a singular subject. We already know that neither of these can work since they aren't nouns. Ho theos, our nominative singular right there. That's good. We're not going to parse it. The, capitalized God, sent. But then we have ou, so the God did not send. And then gar just means for. For the God did not send with a D instead of that T. Ton huion omicron nu right there, accusative. We've seen this before, no need to parse it again. The sun. Eis ton cosmon, good prepositional phrase right here. Eis is clearly taking the accusative. And this is singular and masculine. Taking a look at head. Hina cannot be part of our prepositional phrase, so we have to end it right there. It's going to be accusative of place to which. Into the, spelled with an H, not an O, world. Now, hina, we've seen this before, and it has always been there to show us a purpose clause. So as we take a look ahead at our verb, we have krine, and this one poses a little bit of a problem for us because there are, that I could find, four different forms for it. We have second person singular, it's aorist, and it is krinomai. I think it's krinomai. I think this is a deponent verb. But my brain's not working. So I don't remember whether this is deponent or active, but in this case, it would be middle. And it is subjunctive. Yes, subjunctive in this one. Let's get my notes over there because of this word. So then we've also got another second person singular. This one is future. And I think it's active in form, and it is indicative. So my confusion initially over whether or not this is deponent is because the resource that I use to get all these different forms, it lists Doric, Attic, Aeolic. No, that's not a thing. Whatever the Ionic, maybe that's what it is. It lists all of these old forms, Homeric, and it doesn't actually tell you that it's from that language. So it's not Koine. And Koine will frequently have deponent verbs when Attic and the older forms of Greek did not have deponent. So hence my notes and not remembering whether in Koine it's deponent. So second person singular, future active indicative. And then we have another second person singular, present. And this one is, I think this is also middle passive. And this one is either indicative or subjunctive, according to what it told me. And then our final option, and really the only one that works for us, is all three of these are seconds, is the third person singular, and that is either aorist or it is present, and it is subjunctive. And then I think in this case it didn't tell me whether it was middle, passive, or active. So that all would depend, this one being the correct one, on whether or not this is a normal verb or a deponent verb in Koine. This is the point where I'm going to put up a note once I have access to that information. So I'll leave that as a question mark for the moment. This one is the correct one because it is a third person, and we do not want a second one. We have third person because of all the context right here. In order that, so purpose clause, in order that Koine ton kosmon. Ton kosmon is the same form as we saw before. It is the direct object, the world may judge, or if we were to treat this as a Latin subjunctive, might. But that one is not going to be normal. So in order that he, as I take a look at this, yes, so the not there, that's what I'm missing. So for God to not send the Son into the world in order that he might judge the world, forgot about the not. Allah, but, purpose clause again. So they, this one is a third person singular. That theta right there tells us that this is aorist passive in form. And it is subjunctive, but in order that whole cosmos as a nominative, singular, masculine subject, the world might be saved. D out 2. Missing an alpha right there because of elision. This one is taking the genitive in its form. Singular and masculine referring to the Son through him. Forgot to capitalize that. And that is verse 17 for us. Moving on to verse 18. Ho pisteon. Pisteon is a verb, but this time it is in a participial form. Omega nu there, as we've seen many times before, especially with this article, is nominative, singular, masculine. Pisteu, there's no sigma, there's no reduplication right there, so we know that this is a present, active participle. The believing, or who believes, ace tone, sorry, there's no article there, ace out to u, so this is the end of the prepositional phrase right here. Seen that form before. In him, u, not, krinetai. So here we have the middle passive form off of the present sim, krin, and this is largely where my confusion looking at this one came from. And I want to say that this is deponent, but again, I don't have that information. Earlier note will have clarified that, and I'll put a corrected translation in here if I need to change anything. So this one is third person, singular, present. It is unknown at the moment, and it is indicative. If we treat it as, obviously this is passive, because we got not and context. I should pay more attention, shouldn't I? So passive here. It could still be deponent. Question mark. In him, though believing in him, are not judged. Semicolon. Ho de me pistewon. Same form as right there. Don't need to parse that or that. But, or and, the not believing. Or who does not believe. Ade, this is an adverb, but it's also easily mistaken for a form of ami. I don't remember what form, though. In my early days of studying Greek, we were all really frustrated by that because it was ade and then ade, just the accent of difference, and we were supposed to memorize it. And I think I did until the test, and then it went away. So this one means already. Kekritai, tau alpha iota. It's actually exactly like that, but with this reduplication here, kappa epsilon, we know that this is the perfect tense, but the same as before. Leaving have already been judged. Hoti me pepisteu ken. Epsilon nu, third person singular. This kappa right here, after the stem pisteu, and this reduplication right here tell us that this is a perfect tense. So that's third singular, regular perfect, active, indicative. Hoti could mean either that or because, so before we translate that, we need to know the rest of the context of this sentence, which is the end of our video here, before we translate it. So ace is preposition to onoma. Onoma is a third declension. To tells us that it is a neuter, and it is accusative because of the preposition, so plus accusative, singular neuter. To, so we got the wrong case right there. A prepositional phrase has to end in the name. To is genitive singular. Monogenos, even though we've got the sigma there, which would initially want us to think that it is a accusative plural masculine, we know from its article and the noun that it is modifying right here that it actually has to be a third declension. If we didn't remember it from beforehand, that is. So genitive, singular, masculine, owning, onoma. To theum, it's going to be a second genitive. This one owning, our possessive genitive right here. So the act form is that. They're two different subjects. So name of the only begotten or one begotten son of the definite God, period. So now we want to try this both ways to see which one makes most sense in the context. But the not believing have already been judged that they have not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God, or but the not believing have already been judged because they have not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. Oh, I think either one could work, but because is definitely better. And there we go. Now we want to take a look at it in its own context before going all the way back to verse 1, which would take only about half an hour. For the God did not send the Son into the world in order that he might judge the world, but in order that the world might be saved through him. The believing in him are not judged, but the not believing have already been judged because they have not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. There we go. Now from verse 1. But there was man of the Pharisees, Nicodemus was named to him, of leaders of the Jews. This one came to him at night, and he said to him, Rabbi, we know that from God you have come a teacher, for no one is able to do these the signs which you yourself do, if not the God is with him. Jesus answered and said to him, Amen, amen, I say to you, if someone has not been born from above or again, he is not able to see the kingdom of the God once. The Nicodemus says to him, how is a man able to be born once, being old, or being an old man? Surely he is not able to enter once into the womb of his mother a second time, and to be born once. Jesus answered, Amen, amen, I say to you, if someone has not been born from water and spirit, he is not able to come into the kingdom of the God. The having been born from the flesh is flesh, and the having been born from the Spirit is spirit. Do not wonder once that I said to you, it is necessary for you all to be born, to have been born from above or again. The Spirit blows where it wishes, and the sound of it you hear, but do not know from where it comes and where it goes. Thus is every one having been born from the Spirit. Nicodemus answered and said to him, How are these able to happen? Jesus answered and said to him, You are the teacher of the Israel, and you do not know these? Amen, amen, I say to you, because that what we know we say, and what we have seen we witnessed to, and the witness, our witness, you do not receive. If I said earthly things to you, and you do not believe, how if I said to you the heavenly things will you believe? And no one has ascended into the heaven, if not the from heaven having descended, the Son of the Man. And even as Moses lifted up the servant in the desert, thus it is necessary for the Son of the Man to be raised once, in order that everyone believing in him may have life eternal. For thus the God loved the world, with the result that the Son, the only begotten, he gave, in order that everyone believing in him will not die, may not die, but may have life eternal. For the God did not send the Son into the world in order that he may judge the world, but in order that the world may be saved through him. The believing in him are not judged, but the not believing have already been judged, because they have not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. And there we go. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope taking a look at this has been helpful for you. And remember, don't leave your Greek dictionaries behind, or grammars. Farewell. Hey, not asleep yet? That's okay. I've got tons of other videos that are equally sleep-inducing. Check them out. Alternatively, you could take a look at this video over here,